Welcome to Johnnie Walker Princes Street, right here in the heart of Edinburgh, Scotland's capital city. 8 floors of 5-star tours and tastings, rooftop bars, astonishing castle views, expertly crafted cocktails and cuisine, and a state-of-the-art whisky retail space, so you can take more than memories away with you today. Here at Johnnie Walker, we like to challenge the so-called whisky rules or myths about how whisky should or shouldn't be tasted. We believe the best way to bust these myths is to taste in some new ways and have a bit of fun. We believe there is no right or wrong way to enjoy whisky. It all comes down to where you like it, when you like it, and how you like it, as proven by Johnnie Walker fans all across the globe who have made it the world's #1 Scotch whisky. Our signature tour is the Journey of Flavour experience, because everything in whisky is all about flavour. We invite our guests to take part in a flavour quiz, so the drinks they taste here will be catered to their taste preferences, similar to the way that John Walker would welcome his guests to his grocery shop in the 1820s. Now his and the Johnnie Walker story are truly fascinating. Come walk with me to hear more. Our story begins with the man who gave our whisky its name. It was 1819, and John Walker was just a wee laddie on his family's dairy farm in Ayrshire. When John was only 14 years old, his father died. A tragic situation for anyone his age, and a moment that would change the trajectory of his entire life. Soon the farm was sold, and when every spade and shovel and every cow and sheep was gone, he left with a modest £537. So with a heavy heart and a fire in his belly, this farm lad made a bold leap into the commercial world at his grocery shop. But there were dozens of other grocery shops at the time, and many struggled to survive. So John's shop was different, and quality always came first. He made sure to stock exotic products such as spices, wines and spirits, teas from China, and of course, most important of all, whisky. But many of the whiskies available during his time were too harsh for the palate and inconsistent. So John went to work. He carefully combined different whiskies, rounding out the flavours and improving the quality. Finally, he was able to blend a smooth whisky that was delicious each and every time. John blended every individual glass and bottle of whisky to his customers' liking, and over time, John Walker's business evolved from a grocery shop to a whisky business. In 1857, John's time had come, but not before he passed his passionate pursuit of flavour and uncompromised quality onto his son, Alexander. And that was the Walker way. Alexander was determined to cultivate his father's dream and to keep moving forward, but to pave the way to a new era of whisky, Alexander would have to think differently and risk everything his father had built. The Industrial Revolution brought with it the power to reshape the future of his entire company, if he had the courage to seize it. Alexander realised his answer: the mighty Iron Railway. It connected Kilmarnock to Glasgow and London, and thus to the rest of the world. Following in the footsteps of his father, he sought unique flavours from all across Scotland and forged relationships with distillers and agents who shared his belief in creating the highest quality whiskies for their customers. He partnered with ship's captains to serve as agents who carried his whiskies wherever their ships sailed. Alexander was a savvy businessman, and he introduced our iconic square bottles to help pack more whisky onto every ship. And to stand out from amongst the crowd, he placed our label at precisely a 20-degree angle, allowing for a larger and more eye-catching logo. What a beauty. It paid off. John Walker and Sons grew rapidly, but quality always came first. And like his father before, Alexander passed the Walker way to his own sons, George Patterson and Alexander Walker II. They kept walking, acquiring Cardew, a distillery pioneered by 2 generations of stout-hearted Speyside women. This highly coveted single malt remains at the heart of many Johnnie Walker blends to this day. They enlisted a network of agents and travellers who took Johnnie Walker north, south, east, west, and every place in between. The Walkers remained resilient through some trying times. There were world wars, pandemics, global recessions, and even prohibition. But despite all these challenges, John Walker and Sons walked on. They soon realised there are no rules in how you can enjoy Johnnie Walker whiskies, such as my personal favourite, the Johnnie Walker Highball. As they walked on, the spirit of the Walkers and their brand was embodied in one of the world's most iconic symbols, the Striding Man. The Striding Man became our global ambassador, sharing new ways and new occasions to enjoy our whiskies, and we kept walking. No matter how much the world changes, Johnnie Walker will always keep moving forward. And it all goes back to a certain small grocery shop in the certain Scottish town of Kilmarnock, where John Walker, surrounded by amazing flavours from around the world, embarked on a great quest to make the world's best whisky. If you liked that story, we've got plenty more to tell here at Johnnie Walker Princes Street. Perhaps over a glass of the world's best-selling Scotch whisky. Any way you like it. Cheers! Or, as we say in Scotland, Slanjava.